It is a meeting of prominent politicians, civil society organizations, and the like. Their goal is to explore the issues that African democracy faces and come up with effective answers. Africa has endured from dictators, and leaders frequently seek amendments to their constitutions to retain them longer in power. This tendency presents a further challenge to African democracy. To begin the discourse, the keynote speaker appeals to politicians to have a rethink whenever they try to put their ambition ahead of their countries, as he shares his experiences after losing the last presidential election in Ghana.
I was very cognizant of the tension and the potential violence that could result if there was a long, drawn-out process of announcing the results. Indeed, the tension had begun to mount. I therefore took the decision to hold a press conference at 9 a.m. the next morning. I asked for them to call the press the next morning at 9 a.m. to concede the election to my opponent, even before the EC had announced.
The head of the Center for Democracy emphasized the need of finding long-term solutions to the danger to African democracy.
This threat to popular mandate has been the way in which the judiciary has been drawn into the game themselves, partly because over the same period, corruption had been spreading in all arenas of the social and political landscape, and the judiciary did not escape that degeneration of society and culture. And increasingly, the judiciary, started taking over the important role of determining who are the winners and losers of elections.
Despite decades of democratic practice, the realities faced by Nigerians today often reflect disillusionment rather than hope. The goal of this conference, therefore, is to reignite hope, rebuild trust, and lay out a roadmap toward a strengthened democratic system that serves all Nigerians with integrity and accountability.
Others argue that democracy in Africa has more advantages than disadvantages.
In older democracies, we are constantly reminded that long-held assumptions that many questions regarding basic processes and effects of the democratic process are settled are grossly exaggerated. We live in a highly competitive world where values compete for power to validate them, and a world where conduct of leaders often challenges assumptions that democratically elected leaders live by the highest standards of morality and respect for constitutionalism and the rule of law. In many parts of the world, the appearance of rapidly growing economies under political stability in non-democratic countries challenge the idea that democracy has many intrinsic values that should make it the system of choice in a diverse and grossly uneven world.
Peter Obi, a former Labour Party presidential candidate, suggests that the commercialization of politics be addressed.
That's what we need to remove. Because what you are doing is that you're encouraging stealing of public money, because if I steal it and use it to win an election, then I get all the powers and everything, including immunity, not to be prosecuted. So we must stop it. That is what is driving the stealing.
This event is holding at a time when Africans are expressing a strong desire for effective governance as citizens grapple with hunger and severe poverty. The proposals discussed at this event aim to establish a robust foundation that will enable Africans to experience the kind of democracy that its people truly deserve. Punaraman Benjamin, Arise News.